Buying tea in bulk, wholesale. How does it work? What's the turnaround time? What are the costs? Is it actually worth it? What are the trade secrets that no one talks about? I'm going to explain that in this video. Before I do, I want to give you an introduction to who I am. I'm the founder and CEO of Zen's Tea House, and we got some tea being packed for a wholesale order. Thank you, Regina. Regina's been with the company for 10 years. She never wants to be on camera. I don't blame her. When you start buying in bulk, you got to understand a few things. The biggest is supply and demand. There is only so much supply that's grown every harvest. The good, high quality teas that go for more money. When you're buying in bulk, wholesale, at least in America, there is this emphasis of cheap tea. People don't want high quality teas because the market is difficult to sell a $100 pound bag of tea. Although Zen's Tea House does sell those, it's not as attractive, and the manufacturers, that people don't produce that much tea, so it doesn't really get as much stateside. You know, there's some customers here, so we're gonna shoot to the warehouse really quick. I can show you more of what we do. All right, buying tea in bulk. We were at the cafe, now we're here at the warehouse. The lighting is a little different. It's the same camera, and we're covering the topic buying tea in bulk, specifically wholesale. Now, I gave a brief introduction on how the industry works, and quite frankly, there's just a lot more cheap tea in the international tea market, especially here in the US, than there are expensive teas. And so when you want high quality, organic, loose leaf tea, just know that it's a supply and demand issue. It's gonna get expensive. The biggest tea buyers are actually Germans and Japanese. Those are the ones that buy high quality, expensive tea. And sometimes the best quality isn't always organic. That's the breakdown. Now we're gonna talk about cost. Number one, it's not expensive to buy in bulk. It's expensive to buy high quality in bulk. When you start buying tea, you'll have to build up a reputation of being able to move tea. There's a saying that one of my mentors told me: don't tell me what tea you want, tell me how much you want. That is important, because there's a lot of people in the tea consumers, like direct to consumers, who want a specialty tea, and there's only maybe a few 100 pounds produced, so it gets very, very expensive, kind of like wine. But if you want something very similar, a few grades lower, you can get the same quality tea, arguably same type of tea, but for a way cheaper price. My buddy, I wouldn't say my buddy, but we're friends, I think. We did a YouTube video together from A Tea Leaf. He did a video about that, and I'm sure if you watch any tea videos, he's right up there. He's got a really nice, attractive voice, and he does a lot of tutorials on how to do tea. Point number two, how much time does it take? If the tea is already in the States, if it's already in your local region, then it's not going to be very expensive. But if you want to buy a rare tea, or you're like, oh, I saw this tea that was on YouTube and I want that tea, well, guess what? You're going to have to find someone who has a broker license or has an importer who knows someone who can get that. That can take weeks just to figure out. It's going to take maybe a few days to negotiate that price. And the logistics, if you're in a rush, you could probably get it within 3 to 4 weeks. If you're not in a rush, it could take six weeks to maybe even 3 months to get that tea, and that's because of logistic challenges. Hold up. Packaging your teas. I know you want bulk tea, you want to get it cheap price, you want to be competitive. If you're not sure how to sell your tea, understand that your packaging is going to mean so much. I work here in Los Angeles, and I was working with the LA winery. They said, we love your teas, we just need your packaging. Your packaging needs to look very unique, very nice, attractive, because we're going to put it on the shelf and no one's going to buy it if it doesn't look attractive. Even if you're buying tea in bulk and you got a good wholesale price, you need to sell it, and packaging is important. I have a YouTube tutorial video in the link, we'll have it in the link below. It's the common mistakes people make when putting their teas in packaging. All right, now let's go back to wholesaling tea. When it comes to buying tea in bulk, it's much better to just buy what you have there, because even from an importer perspective, they would rather sell the tea that they have right now in their warehouse, then bring more tea and then have the tea that they have stocked up. It's just, it's really going back to the beginning, supply and demand. And if you need it right now, then of course you'll pay a premium price, but not every tea importer, not every tea exporter and manufacturer likes to go quickly. It's just maybe you haven't seen, but a lot of people in the tea industry are very calm, relaxed, and they're not in a rush to get you your specialty tea, especially if it's going to be less than 100 pounds. So point number 3, the cost. How much money do you have? I suppose the profit margins on wholesale aren't nearly as nice as selling direct to consumer, but if you have a good reputation of buying and selling tea, then you could get it for a cheaper price because you've already built a brand. And if you haven't built a brand, then you're gonna have to pay whatever it is that the wholesaler wants, because there's no reputation. They're not going to spend money from a manufacturer, from an importer, to give you a wholesale rate when you're going to sell just as quickly or as slowly as if they sold directly to their consumers. In short, if you want a better cost on your tea, then you need to sell a lot of it quickly. Number 4, trade secrets. I shared a lot of little secrets on the wholesale importing, bulk buying of tea, but there's a few things that I want you to know that I didn't explicitly say. People in the tea industry want the specialty tea industry to grow. They want specialty products to grow. And so if you can build a new market, go after customers that didn't exist before, you will be significantly more attractive to wholesalers, and they're going to give you a better deal. Zen's Tea House, I started selling at farmers markets. People didn't buy tea at farmers markets back in 2012 when I started. It just wasn't a thing. Now it's a well-established fact. Yeah, you want to sell tea, go to farmers markets. But that's something that is really important. Start with a new market, not just in health, not just in wellness, not in peace and yoga, or even metaphysical. There's a bunch of people doing that, but you're gonna have to find a specialty tea market. Kombucha would be one of them. There would be like stories and journaling. I've seen a lot of people do some interesting things with teas, but if you want to get a good deal and really capitalize off of buying tea at a wholesale price, then know that you have to have a specialty tea market that's different from everyone else, because this is not a secret. There's no shortage of tea drinkers. People just don't know about tea. If you want to wholesale from Zen's Tea House, you can email me, Fernando@zenstea.com. If you want special packaging, special labeling, really crafted, I've done the wooden boxes. I've done really nice packaging. Usually the people who go within a specific nice budget, they're the ones that will last the test of time. The people who spend an arm and a leg for nice luxury items, views, those don't last. That's a trade secret as well. You can email me. I can give you a list of some of the companies that I work with. If you want it timely and quick, we are pretty good with that. But if you want cheap, go somewhere else. Zen's Tea House has over 100 different teas and herbs that we use to make proprietary blends. People are looking for alternatives to a pill, and they would rather use natural botanical medicine. If you like your own proprietary blend with your name, your ratios, and set aside for you, email me, Fernando@zenstea.com. We have a lot of teas that are not listed online that we have set aside for doctors and their patients. More information at zenstea.com.